You are listening to From Ring to Veil.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Kim.
And we are your wedding planning gurus.
We take the stress out
and put the fun back into wedding planning. Wedding Color Inspiration, Spring 2018, episode number 160.
Okay, so I know that the groundhog said that we have more winter, but we're ready for spring. So we thought we would dive into some spring colors and make ourselves feel more springy.
Because I'm ready for spring.
Yes.
I moved to Texas to have no winter, and we've had winter.
Not anymore. There is not, it's not the no winter in Texas anymore. I mean, I guess you might have to even go even further south if you want that.
I don't know. We've been cold. Right now, it's cold and foggy. Like you can't see a half a mile or a quarter mile in front of you.
It's the same here.
It's like the P&W in my yard. So
that's funny.
It's been like that for 2 days.
Wow. Well, we wanted to get springy with it, so we decided to share some color inspo for you. Hashtag inspo. All right, but before we do that, please pause and subscribe. Take a screenshot and share that on your Instagram or on your Facebook or on Twitter and let people know that we're out here. Also, don't forget that we have a Facebook group for you to join with us. We are talking about all things wedding, answering questions, talking to each other, people who are planning their wedding, getting inspiration from each other, help, support, whatever you want to call that. So you can find that if you go to From Ring to Veil on Facebook. Click on groups, and it's our wedding planning community. We would love to see you there. I'm having fun so far.
Yeah.
We're growing.
We have some neat tips and stuff for you also. So, check that out.
That's right. Before we get into everything, let's talk about our sponsor.
We have a new sponsor
called Manly Bands. They're wedding bands for men and some for women. They even have some thinner ones to choose from if you don't want a thicker, manly type.
They have all kinds. They're inlaid with different materials and colors.
They are at an affordable price. All of them are less than $200. When you go to the website, they have the coolest thing. You can choose a ring that matches your personality. I love it. They have the adventurer, the entrepreneur, or even a creative.
They have amazing customer service and free exchanges in the U.S. and a 30-day we got you bro return policy.
Many of the bands even include a 1-year no-hassle warranty. How nice is that?
They have over 1,200 5-star reviews. So Manly Bands is the way to go.
We both got sample rings, and I wore mine, and they're super comfortable. These do have some weight to them, but they're not super heavy. They have those soft, rounded edges, so they don't poke into you and cut your skin.
So go to FromRingToVeil.com/MB and use the code FRTV to get 15% off any Manly band.
That's FromRingToVeil.com/MB. Thank you guys for your recent ratings in iTunes, just the little star ratings. I keep seeing those go up. And even though there's not a review, which is just fine, we are very thankful for those ratings. So thank you guys.
But if you want to leave a review, you can.
You can. Yeah.
We love to hear what you think, and we'll even give you a shout out.
Yeah, that's right.
So leave a review. So ultraviolet is the Pantone color of the year.
I love it.
That's okay.
I'm a purple girl.
Purple. Yeah. Well, I do. I like purple. This one's a little bit too out there. But there's many different variations that you can, use the inspiration of ultraviolet for.
That's true.
Which we have a blog post on our From Ring to Veil page, our website. So if you want to go look at, our inspiration, there's also a Pinterest board for ultraviolet on our Pinterest page. So you can look and, see what we think about it.
That's right. We'll put a link. If you go to the show notes, you can just click on there and see all of the awesome purpley stuff. I mean, ultraviolet, excuse me.
But besides ultraviolet, there are 12 more colors for spring that Pantone says is going to be very popular. I don't like most of them. I will tell you the truth because I'm not a bright color person.
That's right.
I like pastels. I like black. Who doesn't like black? But anyway.
Well, I would have to say if you to follow this show, you really need to go to FromRingToVale.com/160 to the show notes with the actual blog post to see all these colors and the color palettes that we're talking about. We're going to do our best to explain what each of these colors look like. But if you want to see it, they're right there. And there's links to everything. There's hex color codes for you to look them up yourself so that you can really explore these colors and see if you like them and you might want to use them.
So the first color in each palette is one of the Pantone colors of the year. Just to make that clear. And we use mycolor.space to find these palettes.
There are the top 12 colors and 4 seasonal shades, like 4 classic colors that they've included with their color palette.
The Pantone Fashion Color Trend Report for 2018 features the top 12 colors. The spring color palette is, drum roll please. Anyway. We need Alexa. Alexa, drum roll. I'm probably here in a minute.
Is she doing it?
She heard me across the hallway. The first one is a yellow color. It's called Meadowlark. The bold and lively Meadowlark, a confident and outgoing bright yellow shade, highlights the spring 28 season, glistening with joy and illuminating the world around us.
Next color, Cherry Tomato. Impulsive Cherry Tomato is a tempestuous orangey red that exudes heat and energy. Okay. Demanding attention, this courageous, never-to-be-ignored shade is viscerally alive.
Okay.
These are fun.
Little Boy Blue. With the expectation of the clear blue sky, Little Boy Blue is no longer for little boys only. Suggestive of expansiveness and continuity, this azure blue shade reassures us with its promise of a new day.
Chili Oil. Seasoned yet seasonless, Chili Oil is an earthy brown-based red that adds flavorful definition to the spring 2018 palette.
Pink Lavender. Pink Lavender is a soft and romantic violet rose that charms with its soothing sense of quiescence.
What does quiescence mean? We should look that up. The next color, Blooming Dahlia. With its seemingly suggestive scent, the subtly alluring Blooming Dahlia beckons us with its understated appeal. That doesn't explain what the color is.
Quiescence is a state of quietness or inactivity.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Arcadia. Hinting at retro yet at the same time modern, Arcadia is a cooler, cleaner take on green that with its tinge of blue undertone takes us to a new direction for the spring 2018 season.
We're going to go with Ultraviolet again, conveying originality and ingenuity. The magical Ultraviolet is a distinctive and complex purple shade that fascinates and intrigues. Agreed.
Emperador. The rich chocolate-infused brown, Emperador adds strength and substance to the spring 2018 palette.
Yeah, it does look like chocolatey brown, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Next one, Almost Mauve. Mauve. With its gentle petal-like touch, delicate and ephemeral, Almost Mauve adds a sense of nostalgia to the spring 2018 palette.
Spring Crocus. Witty and expressive, Spring Crocus is a flamboyant and tantalizing fuchsia shade that summons you in with its beguiling charm. You wonder who comes up with these.
I don't know. Lime Punch. This is our favorite of the whole board, I think. Sharp and pungent Lime Punch hits a chord with us with its strident and striking citrus-like presence in the spring 2018 color palette. And if you can work this into your wedding, more power to you.
Say, Dayglow Green.
It really is. It's really like 80s. That's what that reminds me of.
Yeah. Well, almost all of it reminds me of 80s. So we also have the classic color palette, which are my favorites because I am not...
She's a classic.
I'm not a bright color girl. Sailor Blue is navy like Sailor Blue anchors.
And Harbor Mist, a mid-tone dove gray. Harbor Mist solidifies the spring 2018 palette.
Warm Sand is a comforting, neutral shade that effortlessly connects the seasons.
And last but not least, Coconut Milk, which I really like anyway. Coconut Milk represents the classic mainstay of a white and or off-white of the spring 2018 season. Woohoo!
So the classics you can add to the other ones to make them come together.
Right. I would say pick one and not two. Pick one of those colors that you really love and then work that into your wedding. And that's kind of what we did with our color palettes that we share here on this podcast and on the show notes.
Because there are classic ones in with these other colors. So,
all right, let's start with Meadowlark. Right next to each of these is the color hex code so that you can just copy and paste that into something, and then you can come up with all kinds of palettes and pick and choose and what have you. So in this color palette, we start off with the Meadowlark, which you remember is a yellow-ish color. It's not lemon, it's not banana, it's somewhere in between. And I feel like it has a little bit of a greenish undertone.
I'm not going to say what it looks like.
This palette that we've chosen has a darker grayish brown, a lighter grayish brown, not quite tan, and a nice light teal color or turquoise color. I think this one is actually kind of pretty for especially like a bedroom and stuff. But I like the gray kind of offset, the grayish brown kind of offsets that yellow.
The next is Cherry Tomato. Along with the Cherry Tomato, we have kind of a terracotta color, a neutral, what is that, beige?
Yeah,
off-white?
kind of a beige.
Kind of a neutral beige and a, what I would call teal, not turquoise.
Right. More teal, more kind of a muted blue.
Yeah.
The next one, Little Boy Blue. We have that paired with more of a navy color. More of a
chocolate
sienna. I think it's more.
On my screen, it looks a little bit more chocolate. So
okay. Well, a chocolatey sienna kind of has more yellowish undertones of a brown, and then a cool white, cool kind of very light blue, icy blue.
Yeah, icy blue is a good description for that. Chili oil. Which makes you hungry.
Some of us.
It's supposed to stimulate your palate.
That's right.
Is, of course, the reddish brown color. And then you have kind of a coral color, which would be the one of the colors probably in the palette of the spring colors. That's what it looks like to me. Mm-hmm. Right?
Kind of like the blooming dahlia. Very close to.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have the off-white beige color and then a bright, really blue.
Exactly. Next, we have the pink lavender, and I love the pink lavender. I think that's really pretty. It's a pink and lavender mix, basically. And we have that paired with a nice...
I say a Merlot.
Okay, there you go. A nice Merlot color, not the wine, and a off-white ivory color, and a nice kind of hunter green. Maybe a little bit not as dark as hunter green. It's a very natural kind of looking outside, like if you're thinking forest and wildflowers. I actually really like this palette.
That one's not bad. Blooming Dahlia is the next one. And of course, we have Blooming Dahlia, and we paired it with a chocolate brown. I don't know if it's the actual one. No. But it is a darker brown and kind of a dark turquoise. Would you say that's a turquoise?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And a gray beige, which we call grage.
Grage.
Which Kim and I call grage.
Which I'm going to paint my kitchen that color, and I just eventually, someday. Next one, Arcadia. I really like this color. Personally, I don't know why. It's we've talked about that. We've have it paired with sort of a light minty green with a beige, and just off of a Blooming Dahlia color with a little more orange. Yeah.
And I'd say the beige has a little bit more pink into it as well.
Yeah, more of a pink beige than a gray beige.
Yeah. Emperador, which is the chocolate.
Would you say Emperador or Emperador?
Emperador.
Okay.
I had to say it several times.
You got it.
Emperador is the chocolate brown color of the palette. It is paired with a lighter brown, say hot chocolate, with some cream, a yellowy beige. I guess that's kind of yellow.
Kind of cream.
Yeah, it's
so
kind
you
of
got the
cream.
chocolate, hot chocolate, and cream.
And then you have green.
A light.
Fresh green.
Yeah. Minty kind of green. I mean, like mint hot chocolate. Hello. All right. We just threw a bunch of colors at you. Let's take a little break here to talk about one of our sponsors. You have to check out our newest sponsor, ZOLA.com. Go to ZOLA.com/FRTV. You will receive a $50 credit towards your registry.
ZOLA Registry has everything you love about your favorite department store, plus things like honeymoon funds, fitness classes, wine subscriptions, and so much more. It's free, easy to use, and fun.
They have a really cool group gifting feature that lets multiple guests contribute to big ticket gifts.
They are also a top-rated app for iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch, so couples can manage their registries on the go.
ZOLA would have made such a big difference in our registering experience if we would have had it back when we were registering.
If we had the internet. ZOLA also has a free suite of wedding planning tools, including free wedding websites. So sign up with ZOLA at ZOLA.com/FRTV and receive a $50 credit.
That's ZOLA, ZOLA.com/FRTV.
Back to our color palettes.
Almost mauve. Mauve. How do you say that?
I say mauve. I don't really like that word very much.
Yeah, I know, it's
kind of
weird.
like it's kind of like the moist word. Mauve.
Okay.
Moist.
So we've paired this almost mauve with a terracotta dark coral color, a light, very light, creamy ivory, maybe a little yellowish tinge there, and actually a little darker mauve.
That's what I was about to say. That's mauve. Spring Crocus is a fun palette. I like this palette. So, Spring Crocus is a purpley pink. It's different than the ultraviolet.
That's
but
for
it
sure.
has more of a pink in it. More like closer to fuchsia.
Right.
So, but still on the purple side. If you get my drift. So it's also paired with another purple that has a lot of gray in it. So this purple has a lot of gray undertones. And then there's a very light white. I would call it a pinky white. Very, very pastel. Maybe a rose quartzy white.
Yeah, perfect.
And another grage.
Hey, who doesn't like grage?
Hey, grage goes with everything.
All right, our favorite of the whole palette here. Lime Punch. This one was a hard one. I couldn't find a palette that I was like, ooh, I really like that. Because the Lime Punch is not like, it's not full neon. It's got a lot of green in it. So it was weird when you put stuff with it. It's like, oh no, that doesn't look good. So we paired it with more of a gray green olive. Yeah, gray green olive. It makes me think of military.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Army green.
Yeah. A very, very, a little bit off-white with a tint of green, and then a hunter green. Maybe it has a little bluish to it, but it's... this is a hard one. I'm just saying, it's a hard one if you want to try to put that with your wedding.
But if you want to do all greens, I saw this awesome wedding because I buy wedding magazines all the time to keep up on the trends and stuff. And the recent Knot Texas book, because, Knot has one for almost every state, and this one's the Texas one. It had a pure green. She had greenery everywhere. That's all she had. And her bouquet was the only thing that had flowers in it. But she used boxwood and bright greens and every shade of green was her color palette. And it was cool.
Okay. If you could find it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a flower that's that lime punch color? Isn't there something that's pretty?
There's
bright green.
You can have... There are roses.
Oh, yeah.
There are some green roses. And, of course, there is a lime green carnation, I think.
Okay.
But, yeah.
If you just love that color, you can... find at least floral. That'll work.
On to the classics. Sailor blue, which is the dark navy blue. You can pair it with different shades of blue and a grage. We love grage. This was a lighter one, though.
Yeah, a lighter grage.
And it kind of all brings it. It's kind of like the sky. You have your light blue sky, then you have your kind of stormy color sky, and then, the night sky.
There you go. The sky palette. All right. Harbor Mist. It's just a beautiful gray. It's really just a beautiful gray. Paired with a light blue. Not royal blue. Royal blue? A light royal blue.
Yeah.
And then a icy white. And then a very light sagey green.
Warm sand.
This one's good.
You can pair warm sand to anything. It'll bring the neutrals out. But this color palette is very neutral in itself, which it has kind of a chocolatey brown, which kind of a greeny chocolatey brown. It has a lot of green undertone in it. At least it looks like it to me. Is it a chocolate brown?
Yeah, it's a chocolate brown.
Okay. So warm sand, as I said, could be paired with anything. It's a chocolate brown, and then there's a gray, kind of an icy gray. And then there's a dark, what I would call hunter green. But Kim would probably say no.
Well, it's a little bit lighter hunter green. I would say it's on the light side. But yeah, just very nice, pretty green. And then for the last color, coconut milk. If you've ever seen coconut milk, it's just a nice creamy color. And we have that paired with a dark army green, kind of a brownish green, a kind of a warm sand, maybe with a little bit more green. And then this one was kind of interesting to me. It's not quite an icy blue. It's a little darker than an icy blue, but it's got a lot of green in it and blue, but it's not very dark. So you guys, if you can't figure this out, go to the show notes from ringdevale.com/60 and look at each one of these palettes and see what you think. I'd love to hear what you guys think and which one is your favorite, which one you hate. I would love to know.
Yes. Make it be Meadowlark. I don't like that color. I'd go for the lime punch over that Meadowlark color. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
But there is a Pinterest board, and there's a link on the show notes, so don't forget that.
Yes, all these palettes are on our Pinterest board, too.
And now on to a listener question. We got this question a while ago. So Logan writes, I just found your podcast, and I'm really happy. I have heard a few episodes, and most recently the Geeky Wedding episode, which we love.
Yeah, that was a really fun one.
Yeah. I am in the very early planning stages of a geeky wedding in Salem, Oregon. Well, Oregon's a good place to have a geeky wedding. My fiance and I own a pop culture events company. So we will be combining our favorite fandoms. I'm a little nervous about it clashing with class, and I look forward to learning more from you guys on this journey.
So it's not necessarily a question, but we want to talk about this.
Yeah, because we love geeky stuff because, we're married to geeks for one thing, or at least I am. And he's extremely geeky in that he only wears
superhero shirts.
Superhero t-shirts and stuff like that. His favorite one now, I got him a Star Labs t-shirt for Christmas. He wears that thing all the time.
Well, that's nice. You know him well enough to get him good gifts. That's great. So keeping class while having a geeky wedding. I think class means different things to people. Mm-hmm. Some people think that chandeliers and champagne and stiletto heels, that's all class.
Well, I think class is relative.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I told her. I said, it's relative to people.
Yeah.
If you want to combine different fandoms, go at it. Mm-hmm. If it's all superhero fandoms, because pop culture has a lot of superheroes in it. Mm-hmm. Pop culture has a lot of movie fandoms in it. Like, The Hunger Games and Twilight and Star Wars and Star Trek and, all of these things. I would not put all of them together. Maybe pick one or two. Mm-hmm.
Especially if their colors blend, right?
Right. Like if it's superheroes, you're always gonna know red, white, blue, yellow, something like that. And then you can mix your superheroes up. If you do like a Hunger Games and Twilight wedding, just to give you an example. You can combine those fairly easily with the greenery, and because there's a lot of outdoorsy stuff in those two. So, just something like that. I would not go full out every different table, a different fandom, because that might be overkill.
Might be clashy.
And overstimulating. Yeah. At least it would be to me. So, but class is relative.
And just if you want to if you want to make it a pop culture thing, do it. It doesn't have to be a certain look, classy, traditional wedding look. Make it your own. Bring your own vibe and personality into it. There's nothing wrong with that.
The favorite blog post I ever did, and it got the most views on my floral website, was a geeky wedding of Doctor Who.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Doctor Who's easy.
Yep.
Blue, silver, add a little yellow, and then put the TARDIS somewhere. There you go.
That's right. So if you have a question and you want us to answer that, or if you have a story that you want to share with us, please email us info@fromringtoveil.com or message us on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. We would love to hear from you.
Also, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.
And until next time, no stress, no worries. Keep calm and listen on.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can find us on Facebook, From Ring to Veil, on Twitter, @FromRingToVeil, and on our website, FromRingToVeil.com.
Music provided by bensound.com. They use some big words in this one.
I know.